students, welcome to NEET World. This is Narayani, I am your foundation faculty. In previous classes, we are discussing about the chapter of crop production and management from the class 8 CBSE. Right. So, what we have discussed in the previous classes? We discussed about what is the definition of crops and what are the steps to be taken to get successful yield. Right. How many steps, children? There are 7 steps. Right. What are they? First step is preparation of soil. Next step is sowing of seeds. Third step is adding of nutrients. Fourth step is irrigation. Fifth step is weeding. Sixth step is harvesting. And the last step is storage. Right. In previous session, we discussed the harvesting and storage. Right. So, let's skim this fastly, harvesting and storage. Before going to the class, I took a very important news for you children, very important message for you children. We are conducting NW Star Scholarship Test. What is meant by NW? NEET World Scholarship Test. It is occur on the dates of March 29 and 30. And mode of examination happens both offline also and online also. For offline, you have to come to our institution. Our institution is in Hyderabad, Narayanguda, near metro station. Those who want to write the examination on online, they can download our app MedWorld. It is available in Play Store. You can download. On the dates of 29 and 30, you get the notification from by our side on the access of the scholarship examination. By your flexibility of timings, you can easily access this examination and write this NWST, NEET World Scholarship Test. It's a golden opportunity for you children. Don't miss this opportunity. Right. And we are commencing the foundation course from the April 1st onwards. Our specialty is we are providing the quality education with experienced teachers. And main mode of learning is conceptual concepts on the basis of important topics of mainly exams of NEET and JEE. Our classes available in English medium for both CBSE and SSC also. The subjects covered by us is physics, chemistry, mathematics and biology. And our mode of learning is through digital panel, thereby we create videos, modules for your better understanding, your children. So, don't miss this opportunity for your children. It starts commencing on the date of 1st April 2025. So, let's start the session, children. In previous class, we learned about the harvesting. What is meant by harvesting? When the crop is matured or crop is ready to gather, the process we call it as harvesting. Harvesting is the process cutting and gathering of mature crops. What, children? Cutting and gathering of mature crops. Cutting and gathering of mature crops from the field. We have to cut the crop at the right time to get better yield and quality yield. To get better and quality yield, we have to harvest the crop at proper time. Right, and it can be done by manually by the implement called sickle. What is this implement called? Its name is sickle. Its name is sickle. It is a traditional method. Nowadays we are using the combine method. We learned in the previous class, children. We learned about the modern method called combine. It does the work of both harvesting and threshing also. So, after harvesting, threshing is the process. What is meant by threshing? Threshing means the process of separating grains from the stalks by the manual method, traditional method, by beating with the hard substance or else by using the thresher machine. After threshing, this is the modern method used for harvesting also, threshing also. This is the combine machine which is very large. It does the both works of harvesting and threshing also. It harvests the crop and also collected grains from the stalk. After threshing, winnowing is the method. Winnowing is the process of separating husk and chaff from the grains. What is the husk and chaff? See, they are combines with the grains. It is the traditional method. The grains are flows into the air, and the heavier grains falls into the ground, and the husk and chaff blows into the air. Thereby we are separating the husk and chaff from the grains. This is the winnowing. This is the winnowing, and we use the winnowing machine also for it. Nowadays we are using the winnowing machine. It saves both time and labor. And next, coming to the last process, storage. Storage is a very crucial step in agriculture, children, because see, the hard work pays off in the storage season. After harvesting process, immediately the buyer will not obtain for us. It takes time, right? To buy our produce, it takes some time. For that, we have to store our valuable produce. So some arrangements need to be taken. So what we are collected, the grains have the most moisture content in the grains, because of that moisture, microorganisms are more attentive for the moisture. Thereby it spoils the crops. To prevent it, we dry the produce under the sunlight for sure, to get rid of the moisture from the grains. The storage of grains, we call it as grains. The storage area we keep in the granaries and silos. The grains have to be stored in a dry places, because for the moisture, microorganisms are more attentive. No, so to prevent our valuable produce, we have to store in a dry places. And before keeping in the storage areas, we have to fungate the storage area to avoid the microorganisms attack. The sprayers will be there to get our storage area fumigated. Thereby the fungus and microorganisms prevent by this. So these are the granaries where we store our valuable produce. So storage plays very crucial role. It in crop production it helps in preserving the quality and quantity of harvested produce. So thereby we prevent the spoilage and protects the grains from against pests, diseases, and it ensures food for the availability throughout the year. Right. And next, the methods what we are following for the storage. We collect the grains into the jute bags, bamboo bins, mud bins, and underground pits. These are the 4 most methods we are used for the storage of grains. After that, but nowadays we are using modern methods, right? For the modern methods, we are using silos. Right? There are the large containers where we store the bulk amount of grains for the further uses. Right, children? This is and we studied about the curative measures also. We have to prevent the grains from and the storage area should be need to be taken use of pesticides and insecticides, because the storage area should be prevent from these pest diseases, insects and all that. If there is no arrangement is done, what will happen? Our produce will be damaged, spoiled. So to avoid all of this, some curative measures should be taken. What are they? Use of pesticides and insecticides. What are the pesticides? Malathion, aluminum phosphide. And fungation process, fungation should be done by the sprayers of gases like methyl bromide, phosphine. And to control the biological control, to prevent the insects to lay eggs and reduce the number, we are using the mineral oils for it. Thereby we are controlling the insects, small insects and organisms. And see, the storage area should be sprayed regularly after every 3 weeks to kill the pests. And also, children, the storage, we usually store the grains in home, right? So we keep some neem leaves, because neem have the characteristic odor. For that odor, no insects will damage the grains. Thereby we store the product in our houses. And also since grains are harvested once in a year, we need to be stored safely so that they can last at least throughout the next harvested season. Always we keep the stock, right? The extra stock we call it as buffer stock. So always maintain the grains are available in plenty, because if there is any storms, rain, heavy rainfalls, if the crop did not come to in our hands, means we will use the stock. So extra stock will be there for every harvested season. So this is up to the what we discussed about the yesterday's session, and we did this questionnaire session also. Please go through that, children. Right. Children, we discussed the agriculture practices to get successful crops. Right? What is meant by agriculture? We learned about what is the definition of crops and also its practices. To get successful crops, what practices need to be done? What is agriculture practices? Agriculture practices are nothing but to grow crops. We are performing the various activities, right? Those practices we call it as agriculture practices. So what is meant by agriculture? See, the science that deals with the both livestock and also cultivation of plants, nothing but growing of plants, we call it as agriculture. For the human use, the cultivation of plants and raising of livestock, both used for the human use only. For why human use? For cultivation of crops, we are getting the vegetables, our staple food, right? Our staple food we are getting, vegetables we are getting, right? Thereby veggies, right? These are we are getting to need of our lives, right? For livestock mean domesticated animals. Livestock mean domesticated animals. For what purpose we use the domesticated animals? For milk. Milk have the more amount of calcium, right? Milk, and also eggs. Eggs are more proteinaceous, and also leather, etc. Not what for many uses we use the livestock. So the science that deals with cultivation of plants and raising of livestock, nothing but domesticated animals, for the human use we call it as agriculture. So agriculture broadly classified into agronomy, horticulture, animal husbandry. What is agronomy? See, agronomy is the branch of agriculture only. It studies and development of techniques of both soil and water. It develops the techniques of both soil and water. For improving agriculture practices, we call it as agronomy. Next, horticulture. It is also a branch of agriculture that deals with cultivation of fruits, vegetables and ornamental plants. It is called horticulture. Animal husbandry is also the branch of agriculture that deals with the rearing and management of domesticated animals like cows, buffaloes, hens and all that come under the group of, by rearing those animals we call it as animal husbandry. Right, for the human use only. Next. So what is meant by, now you clearly know about the definition of agriculture and the classification based on the agriculture. Right. Next, see. Cereals are the first noun crops to be cultivated. What are the cereals? Cereals are nothing but rice, wheat. We call it as cereals. We use daily. Our main source of food is rice, wheat. These are the most regular use of food, right? So these are the first noun crops to be cultivated. They provide staple food for people every part of the world. what is meant by staple food? The regularly what we eat food, we call it as staple food. The food we eat regularly, we call it as staple food. Our staple food is rice because the main source of we depends on the food is rice. So our main staple food is rice and wheat. We mostly, Andhra and Telangana people mostly depends on the cereal of rice. So they have the nutritious seeds called grains. These plants, these cereals have these are tall grasses and they are cultivated nutritious seeds. They are cultivated for nutritious seeds. We call it as grains. They are stored in the granaries or silos. Now only we discussed about that. And the grains are rich in starch and also proteins, vitamins, minerals and fiber. These are by that we get the energy, right? We only eat the cereals. We only eat cereals, not right? We eat the vegetables too. We eat the proteinaceous food too. So let us discuss some different types of crops that grow for food. Mainly in India, these crops are mostly seen in cultivating. So what are they? Cereals. What are the cereals? Wheat, rice, maize, barley, ragi. These are the examples of cereals. These we call it as cereals. It is the most staple food. Rice and wheat is the most staple food for every part of the country and it is provided to every part of the world. Right. Next, pulses. Pulses are proteinaceous foods. Examples of is gram, peas, bean and all that. Oil seeds. To make the curry, we need the most important ingredient is oil. Right. The oil is obtained from groundnut, sunflower or mustard. We use mainly the vegetable oils. The oils only we depend on the groundnut, sunflower, mustard and all that. And rooting crops are like sweet potato, turnip and tuber crops like potato and sugar crops like sugarcane, beetroot and plantation crops like tea, coffee, rubber, coconut and fiber crops for cotton, jute and feed crops for animals we have to feed, right? We mostly use the oats and alpha. These are the main crops grown in India. So these children just skim through this. You can know about what are cereals, pulses, oil seeds, fiber crops, feed crops, plantation crops. You can understand. So now we are discussing the crops. We cultivated the crops based on seasons. Majorly crops are divided into three types based on the seasons. What are they? They are Zaid crops, Kharif crops, Rabi crops. These are the three main crops. They are classified into based on the seasons. See, in that Kharif and Rabi crops are most important. In the examination point of view, we will study the Kharif and Rabi crops mainly. So just children remember like this, KR and RW. What is meant by KR? KR means Kharif crops occurs in rainy season. Rabi crops occurs in winter season. Which means Kharif crops grown on rainy season, Rabi crops grown on winter season. That's why just keep in your mind KR means Kharif crops grown in the season of rainy season and Rabi crops are grown in the season of winter season. So children, what is meant by Zaid crops? Zaid crops are sown in between the region of summer season. They are grown in the summer season. These are the Zaid crops. We will detailedly discuss about these crops. And don't afraid of children if you are listening the first time class, because it is little confusing topic only, but you can go through the session once again, then you know about clearly about these crops in detailed way. I'll give the mnemonics for the examples also. They can easily keep in your mind. So first, Rabi crops. Rabi means RW. Rabi crops. Rabi crops mean what I said to keep in your mind? RW. R means R means Rabi season. So R means Rabi crops. W means winter. So Rabi crops are grown in the season of winter. So Rabi crops are also called as winter crops. So Rabi is an Arabic word meaning spring. Spring, winter, these are the same word of spring is the same word of winter only. The season we also called as winter season is also called as spring season. So Rabi crops are sown during the winter season in India mainly. That is why Rabi crops are grown. Rabi crops are also called as winter crops. So the sowing season starts from the winter season. When the winter season starts, we have to know about it. So winter season starts from the October and November, and these crops come to get when these crops ready to gather, which means harvested period of these crops is March and April. These crops grown in the season of winter crops. Winter starts from either October or November. We have to cultivate it in those months, and it comes to the harvested period is March and April. These are some of the examples of Rabi crops: mustard, gram, barley, wheat, oats and bajra. Don't panic children, I will give you the mnemonic for you this, and you can easily understand, easily remember by that mnemonic. Since these crops are grown in October and November in the cultivated countries, see, these water require irrigation, which means we have to supply the water they use the water in the underground of the soil, which means they use the precluded water, which means the water scattered in the ground, they use that water mostly. And the seed germination. What is the meaning of germination? The process of development of seed into seedling. What is meant by germination? The process of developing seed into seedling. This process we call it as germination, or seed to eggplant. The process of growing of seed to eggplant we call it as germination. The process of developing seed into seedling we call it as germination, or else seed to eggplant also we call it as germination. The period of which climate is suitable for the germination for the Rabi crops? The warm climate is required for the germination of Rabi crops, and cold climate is enough for the growth of these plants. So cold climate is for growth and development, and warm climate is needed for seed germination. So the examples of Rabi crops are mustard, wheat, pulses like gram, pea, lentil, garlic, coriander, fenugreek. These are the examples of Rabi crops. So I said, children, I will give the mnemonic for you to easily remember for you. So listen, mustard, wheat, pulse grown in cold fields. Just keep in your mind these words in your mind, these mnemonic in your mind. Then when you can easily remember the examples. M means mustard, wheat. First three examples are in the mnemonic only. G means garlic, and C means coriander. F means fenugreek. These are the examples of Rabi crops. Just remember this mnemonic: mustard, wheat, pulse grown in cold fields. M means mustard, W means wheat, P means pulses like gram, pea, lentil, and G means garlic, C means coriander, F means fenugreek. These are the mnemonic. This is the mnemonic. Keep in your mind, children. Next, Kharif crops, KR. K means Kharif crops, R means rainy season. Kharif crops are grown in the season of rainy season. Right? K means Kharif. K means Kharif, R means rainy season. rainy season. Kharif crops are grown in the season of rainy season. So Kharif is an Arabic word meaning of autumn, which means monsoon or nothing but rainy season. This is the season where Kharif crops are grown. That's why Kharif crops are also called as rainy crops. These are sown at the beginning of the monsoon, which means rainy season. Rainy season begins when? June or July, right? Rainy season starts from the June or July and it comes to the end of the season September. So harvested period is September. Harvested period is September. So to grow these Kharif crops require adequate of water. So these crops are grown in rain-fed regions. So these crops require more adequate of water. So that is why these crops are grown on. So that is why these crops are grown on rainy season. These require hot and humid climate, which means the precipitation should be more in the climate. Thereby these crops can easily grow. So Kharif crops is called rainy season. It starts from the month of June. They are cultivated in the month of June or July. These crops require ample amount of water, which means more amount of water, which means adequate amount of water for their growth. That's why they are grown in the season of rainy season. So adequate and well distributed distributed rainfall is important for successful Kharif crop season. For successful Kharif crop seasons, more amount of water is required. So that is why Kharif crops are grown in the rainy season. The examples of Kharif crops are paddy, groundnut, arhar, horse gram, ragi children. So to remember this, I'll give you the mnemonic of paddy grows in after heavy rainfall. P means paddy. Paddy means rice children. Grows, G means groundnut. A means arhar. Arhar means pigeon pea. H means horse gram. R means ragi. It is a millet. Okay, right children? Keep this mnemonic in your mind and read 1 or 2 times. For upcoming students of 8th standard, it is very easy topic. Little confusion you feel when you are reading the first time, but you will get to know. Okay? See the session 2 times, you will get to know about the Kharif and Rabi crops. So let us discuss the differences between the Rabi and Kharif crops. So these are the differences between Rabi and Kharif crops. See children, Kharif crops. What I said, Kharif crops means KR, Rabi crops mean RW. Right? K means Kharif crops grown in the season of rainy season. Rainy season is also called as monsoon. So they are also called as monsoon or rainy season. So Rabi crops are not grown on the season of not monsoon, which means not rainy season. They are grown in the season of winter season. That is why they are called non-monsoon, which means not rainfall season they are grown. Next, these crops are grown in humid and wetty conditions. Hot and wetty conditions. For the Kharif crops require more humidity, which means precipitation should be more. Which means in air precipitation level will be more. For these crops grown in cold, for the development they require cold, and for the seed germination they require the warm climate. So they are nearly grown for the dry conditions. They did not require the ample amount of water. They require they want the irrigation supply of water is required, but not as compared to the Kharif crops. These crops are sown in the beginning of rainy season in the month of June and July. These crops grown in the season of rainy season starts from the month of June and July. These crops are grown in the month of October or November, which means winter season, starting of the winter season. So they are come to the harvested period. The harvested period of kharif crops is end of the rainy season and starting of the winter season. So these crops are, 1 minute children, these crops are harvested during September, end of the rainy season. These crops are going to be harvested, and these crops are harvested in the month of March and April, which means end of the winter season. Rabi crops are going to be harvested. Those months is March and April. These months are for the kharif crops. The harvested period is September or October, by the end of the monsoon and starting of the winter season. They are started at the end of the rainy season when it is the starting of the winter season. Those are the rabi crops. So examples of this is paddy. Paddy means rice, groundnut, arhar. We already discussed about this mnemonic, right? P means paddy. G means groundnut. A means arhar, PGNP. H means horse gram. R means ragi. Ragi is a millet. And for the rabi crops, what is the example? Mustard, wheat, pulses growing coalfields. The first three examples in the mnemonic only. Mustard, wheat, pulse. G means gram. Grams are grams are, sorry. Yes. So pulses are grams, P, lentil. And G means garlic. C means coriander. F means fenugreek. So these are some of the examples, children. You get to know better. So 1 minute, children. Okay. So this is about the today's session, children. Yesterday we did the questionnaire session, right, on the basis of level 1. So we'll do the level 2. So children, in the next session we will do the level 2 questionnaire. So please watch that session also. And once again I am reminding you, children, we are conducting the NW Star, which means we are conducting the scholarship test for NEET World. We are conducting NWST, NEET World Scholarship Test, on the dates of March 29 and 30. Our mode of examination is both offline also and online also. Who are very interested in taking the scholarship test, you can access both offline as your flexibility. You can come and write in our institute, or else you can take the examination on online also. By online, you have to download our app MedWorld. Then you can get the access notification on the dates of 29 and 30. And the eligible students for this examination is 6 to 10 students who are going to upcoming class of 8th, 9th and 10th, 6th, 7th, 6th people. They can write this examination, and don't miss this opportunity, children. This is very useful to you. And so our motto is boost your future with NWST. Don't miss this opportunity and write the examination. We see you soon. So this is the session today. Thank you, children.